Howdy lads. Today, what I've got for you is a unit showcase for the Commonwealth faction in the upcoming Finest Hour DLC. As you can see here, I've got the units library. We're on the Commonwealth. And first up, we've got a few of their planes. So, the Bristol Blenheim. Then we have the Horsa Mark II. I'll go through the planes relatively quick because I'm sure many of you want to get to the actual tanks and armoured vehicles. Here we have the Hawker Hurry Bomber, the Hawker Hurricane, and the Hawker Typhoon. Now before we get into the AECs, I will note, you want to see any more of this kind of stuff, like, sub, comment, all that good stuff. It really does help me out. Makes me feel good too, so that's always fun. But let's get into the AECs. So this is our first one. I love these little scout cars. They are absolutely wicked. They look cool. Appearance. So we can make them look a bit different. In the winter, it's very bright. Let's go back to standard. But you can have a gander. They got the 40mm QF 2-pounder. You can have a look at the pen ranges. How good. Then we got the Mark II. So what's the biggest... it does have a fair bit of difference. We've got the Mark II here. And the gun's obviously a lot better. You look at the penetration values. They go up a fair bit. And then you got the Mark III, which the penetration values go down, which is odd. But not a big difference between 2 and 3. But a big difference on Mark I to Mark II. I think the muzzle brake at the end here is the biggest difference. Must be the velocity that affects the, yeah, this is 75mm, but a bit of velocity that affects it. But how good? Next, we're on to the Bren Carriers. So this is Bren number 2. And then there's another one called Bren number 2. What's the difference? So this has got a boy's AT rifle in it. You can see there. This one just has the Bren gun, machine gun. How good. The models look amazing, I must say. No armor on these things though. But they've put in some, even inside, look inside, you can, steering wheel and all that there. That is cool. How good. Now we're on to the Daimler. So this is the Dingo Mark II. That looks pretty snazzy. They've put in so much effort, even into stuff that realistically doesn't matter in the grand scheme of the game. Like, all the details in here, they could easily just leave that out. But they go into a lot of effort to make it look super, realistic and cool. So you gotta love the devs for that. But that's your Daimler Dingo Mark II. Now this is the same thing, but with a boy's AT rifle. You can see there, instead of the machine gun. Then we have the Daimler Early. So what's the difference between Mark II and the Mark II Early? It doesn't look like there's much difference to me. Even the Bren is the same. Oh, this is the Mark I Bren gun, whereas this is the Mark II. So I assume the difference is pretty minute. But moving down, got the Daimler Mark I. Nice, a lot of scout vehicles you'll notice in the Commonwealth forces. They've brought in a lot of their scout vehicles, and I actually really like that because it'll play similar to the US faction with all their half tracks, etc. But I don't know, I like the idea of using scout cars better. We have the Little John. So what's the difference? It's just the turret at the end here. You see that little turret at the end? So you can see it there. I dare say it's nothing but velocity because they've got the same gun, but look, like if you look down here, main gun 40 QF 2-pounder L50, same. So that muzzle brake must give it a bit of oomph. Don't know. We got the Daimler Mark II with the Little John variant. These will be pretty cool to roll around in. I think these will dominate in PvP, judging by those pen values, and they'll be pretty quick. 80 k's an hour. I think you're going to cause some absolute damage with these in the rear lines. 100%. If someone's pissing you off with a Yag Tiger, to throw one of these around the flank, hit it in the bum and run away. But next we have the Humber. That's kind of cool. It looks pretty like like a modern. It looks like almost like a modern vehicle, doesn't it? Like a modern infantry carrying vehicle, more so than a scout vehicle. I don't know. It just does to me. But that's the Humber Mark II. Absolutely no penetration. It's a 15mm main gun. Does it have two main guns? Two machine guns? Don't know. Looks like it's supposed to be two. Or 250. 15mm guns. And then you got the Mark IV. So what does this come with? A 37mm gun. So it's just an upgraded gun, really. I don't think there's many other differences. Oh, there is. As for the hull and turret armor, no difference. So it's a little bit of looks. And yeah, it'd be cool if the tire at the front here, you look at this one, there's no tire. It'd be cool if that tire... Oh, where is it? What? There was a tire. There it is. If that affected the pen value, so it gave you an extra bit of protection. It'd be really cool if they could like get that into the game somehow, but I don't know how they would. Next we have the Humber Light Reconnaissance Car Mark II. Pretty cool. Boys AT rifle, Bren Carrier. And we have another one. Pretty similar. This is the Mark IIIA. They're just smaller. This one doesn't actually have a Boys AT rifle, whereas this one does, so probably better. Although, this has an extra 2 hull armor, so do with that what you will. Humber Scout Mark II, that's pretty cool. So again, that reminds me of like a modern looking infantry fighting vehicle. Maybe without the machine gun on top. Is it remote control? Someone let me know if anyone knows if this is a remote control gun. Or does someone stand on the back? I don't know. Looks like a remote control gun. Who knows? Anyway, we're on the half tracks. We've all seen half tracks. I'm just going to skip over them. But we have... Yeah, pretty much the same as the American ones. But we have the machine gun carriers. It's got a Maxim on top. I like how they put a rifle in there. So it's a Bren Carrier, essentially, with the machine gun on top. How good. Now, you can get squads in this, in Conquest, that have 3 Bren Carriers. They have a Mortar Carrier and 2 guns. I think they're going to be quite powerful in Conquest, especially early on if you can get to them quick enough. And then we have the Mark II. So is there much of a difference? A little bit, but stats-wise, no difference. It's the exact same. So just pick your poison, whatever one you like better. We have the Morris CS9. This looks like one of those Finnish scout vehicles. Nothing too fancy, just a boys MK1 AT rifle and a Bren. Now we have the Mortar Carriers. So this is the 2-inch. There's a 2-inch with the boys rifle. And this is the Mark III with the 2-inch mortar. So, quite cool. I do like the idea of these. But I tend to just set up an artillery battery. Next we have the Staghound. They're pretty cool. I'll skip kind of through the Staghounds a bit, but you can see the different variants. That's got a big gun. I think that'll cause some damage. But there you go, Staghounds. Now we have more Bren Carriers, but they're just called something different. Universals. So this is just your various Universals. Your Bren Carriers. So do with them what you will. You've got AT rifles, Bren guns, all that. And we have the Wasp. So it's got a flamethrower. This is going to be quite fun to roll into the objective, although I don't know if I'd like to roll into anywhere with this in real life. You got the tanks just sitting there in the open, a big tank here. One good shot could ruin your day. Now we have the mortars. So we've got the 4.2-inch, 4.5-inch guns. A couple of them. We've got some howitzers here, the 4.5-inch howitzers. Not sure what the... I think just the tires are the difference. That is it. You got the 5.5-inch gun. 6-inch. This thing looks pretty cool. I'm kind of keen to use this little snub nose howitzer. I feel like a lot of these howitzers, though, or artillery guns, the Americans already have. I don't think there's too many unique ones like the Long Tom. The Americans have that. 4.5-inch. Americans have, I believe. 7.2, maybe from memory. I can't remember. I haven't played with the Americans for a while. Then we've got the 8-inch little snub nose thing. I say snub nose just because it's short. I know it's not a snub nose. You can tell me off in the comments if you really want to, but yeah. Now we've got the Oerlikon. It's a 20mm gun. A couple of them. Well, they're AA. Now we got the AT guns. So the 37 just looks like the same as the Finnish have, really. 2-pounder. That looks pretty unique, different. Then we got the late 2-pounder. We got the Little Johns. These are the same as the Little John variants in those tanks, whatever they were. 2-pounder. You got a 40mm Bofors, same as the Finnish one. 6-pounder, 6-pounders. 75mm. So this is pretty much the same as the American infantry gun. The land mattress, which I'm so keen to try. What has it got? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 30 rockets. I feel like this is going to be fun to use. Just absolutely ruin some soldier's day. We've got the pheasant. 1725 pheasant. Now, I did ask about this. I can't remember what the answer was, but I did ask about this on my first look at the DLC video, and someone did answer it. So if you are curious on why it's called that, go check out the comments on my other video and you'll see. We've got the QF17 powder. You got a pounder, sorry, not powder, and a bunch of mortars, 3-inch. You've got 18-pounder guns, 1825s. You've just got the standard 25s, 3.7-inch AA guns. Early, late, difference doesn't look that hectic, but yeah, judging by the pen values, it is. And you got the 3.7-inch howitzer. That's a weird looking gun. I have a feeling it's going to be like the 7.5 LEIG. It's just going to dominate. But we have the Vickers. Everyone's seen a Vickers. That's their fuel truck. I won't go too hectic with the Bedfords. We've all seen the trucks. Supply truck. I do like the how they put stuff in the back and make it kind of look cool. Another supply trucks. There's a couple different types. Got the engineer truck, and you've just got your standard transport. That's cool. They just sit in the middle. It's like a little bar. Now we have the Morris C8 Fat. It's like a commander's vehicle. The C9B, the Bofors on the back. That's hectic. That's the front seats. And you got your Willys Jeeps. We've seen these, although I do like the Maxim on it. It just looks sick. Reminds me of SAS Rogue Heroes, that one where they drive through the airstrip and shoot everyone. We've got the heavy MG. Oh, it's not heavy MG, just a different MG. Sorry. It's a weird Vickers. Naval Drifter. Don't know if you can use this in Conquest, but there's the Naval Drifter. I'm sure that's probably in a mission or something. The Goatley boat. HMS. I don't know. I can't see anything. Oh, there it is. It does have a gun on it. No idea. Maybe they haven't finished that unit. Don't know. There is obviously a bunch of missions I haven't got access to yet. Here's some landing craft. That's cool with the rope guns, rappel guns, whatever the hell they're called. I think that's going to be quite cool in a mission. I feel like you're going to be storming one of the beaches and using this. Got the motor yacht. A lot of detail in some of these things that like you generally won't see much of in this game unless you play the specific mission. But now we have what we're all waiting for. You've all been waiting for the tanks. Here are the Churchills. Dual gun Churchill, 76 and a 40. That's cool. I've never seen that in a game. Another Churchill. I'll slowly just go through the Churchill variants because obviously they're going to be much for muchness. I'll come out a bit so you can see a little bit better. This is cool. AVRE Churchill. It's got a 29mm spigot mortar. Yeah, right. So more variants of the Churchill. This is cool, the crocodile, the flamethrower, the flamey boy. Doesn't come with the trailer apparently, which I don't really like because I'm pretty sure they did have trailers in real life, like they had to. I don't know though, I could be wrong. Someone correct me if I am. Another Churchill. So yes, that is the Churchill, guys. Churchill does look sick. I'm sure it'll be super slow though. Yeah, 21 k's an hour. I don't think it gets much better. The 26k one. Let's go on to the cruisers. So, Cool little bus, little light tank, so another cruiser. The Vickers machine gun does look cool there. It's a 94mm 3.7-inch howitzer. You've got the Mark II, Mark IIA, Mark II ACS. Got the Mark III. Looks pretty cool. Got smoke launchers. Mark III with a little star on it. I'm assuming that's just extra turret armor. And yes, it does show there. Extra 14 if you look at the additional armor. See the difference? Now you got the Mark IV. Very nice. And then the Mark IVA. So I assume the best version of the cruiser. But it's just a little light vehicle. Probably good in early war, but I wouldn't exactly be depending on it in late game. Next we have the Harry Hopkins. It's like a Stuart. Yeah, right. It's got a 40mm QF 2-pounder in it. Quite a unique looking vehicle. Some of these vehicles I've honestly never even heard of or seen, so it's quite cool to see them in the game. Everyone's seen an LT4. Obviously we have the Liberation DLC. Now you got the M22 Locust. It's one of the vehicles you use in a mission. What is the mission called? The mission is called, bear with me, but there was a bug in it, so I've reported it to the devs and they'll fix it. But I'd recorded it and I was going to post it, but obviously with the bug I didn't want to because I couldn't finish it. But the Liberation of Old, you use one of these, the M22 Locust. It's actually quite a good little bus. It goes hard. Oh no, sorry, you use the Little John variant, I think. Nah, I'm pretty sure it's just a normal Locust. But yeah, you get the Little John variant, which adds this to the end. So it affects the penetration quite heavily if you just have a look there at the penetration values and the difference. Now we're on to the Matildas. So it kind of looks like the French tank, doesn't it? What are they called? Oh, I can't remember what those little the Fiat things. You got the Matilda 1 5-inch, and you got the Stuart Honey. Someone explained why it was called a Honey in my other video. Again, I can't remember, but if you want to know the information, go look in the comments of the video I just posted about the Finest Hour DLC. You will see why it is called that. Now we have the Stuart 3, Stuart 5. Jesus, the height differences. Oops. But you actually have this, the Recce. So it's not Reese, like I said. Someone corrected me. It's the Stuart Recce. And someone did ask about these. So if you're watching, yes, they have them. It's essentially just a tank chassis with no turret. There's a little machine gun on it. I don't think it'll be that handy. And judging by the tech tree, I think you have to buy a little bit to actually get to this. So it almost isn't worth it. We have the Stuart 6. We've all seen Stuarts, though. Now we have the Tetrarch. So I think that's how you spell it. Pretty cool. You got the Little John variant with the muzzle thing. Now you've got the light AA Mark 1, just on a little chassis. Light mk.vib, just a Vickers 5-inch. Yeah, right. It does have a little bit of pen. Now you got the 17-pounder Achilles. I'm sure you've all seen the Achilles, but let's just look again. This is the British version. And the Valentine Archer. If you haven't heard about this, it is an interesting tank. It is actually designed to reverse into position, fire on a target. This is the front, so once it's fired and destroyed its target or whatever, it's then supposed to just drive off. So it's an ambush vehicle, essentially. It will be fun to play with, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how well you'll be able to depend on it. The gun, however, does look amazing. Look at those pen values. They look pretty good, so... There is a doctrine that allows you to get 2 of these in the last line. Could be a decent play to use 2 of these to ambush your enemy if they have a decent tank out. Now we have the Bishop. So the Valentine 25-pounder Mark 1 Bishop. 88mm. It's a howitzer, really. My favourite tank, though, in the British Army, the Challenger. This thing is amazing. I love it. Great penetration. It's a quick little bus. If you've seen my Squad 44 tank commander videos, you'll know how much I love this tank. We absolutely dominated in that back in the day. Myself, Rossi Boy, Sparks, and Buell. Next we have the Comet. A few of you have mentioned the Comet. Keen to have a go, so I'll spend a little bit more time having a look at it more intricately for you. intricately, whatever. But yes, very nicely made by the devs. It is a cool looking bus. There you go. There's the Comet. Now we're on to the Cromwells. Cromwells are sick. I do like the Cromwells. They actually have this variant, the Tulip, which has rockets, which is quite fun. Never heard of it until I seen it in this game. You got the Cromwell Mark 5, Mark 6 CS. I don't think there's too much of a difference, really. Oh, penetration values there is. Oh, and the gun. The gun is very different. Got the Mark 7, Mark 7 CS. You've got the Mark 3 AA and the Mark 3 AA Mark 2. So that one looks a lot better than the Mark 1 actually. Oh, these are on the Crusaders, sorry. So apologies, the AAs are Crusaders. I got ahead of myself there. Now we've got the standard Crusaders. So you got the 40mm QF 2-pounder in this one. The Mark 1 CS. This is a good looking tank, I have to admit. I like what they've done with the turret there. It's like a Centurion. Some of you had mentioned that tank. The reason it's not in game is it was brought in at the end of the war. I think it's the one that didn't see combat that I mentioned, or that I talked about. If it's the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, there's a few vehicles that people have asked or wondered whether they'd be in there. If it's a prototype vehicle or it didn't see combat or saw very limited combat, odds are the devs aren't going to add it. So yeah, just do with that info what you will. It'll probably get thrown in mods. A lot of the time those vehicles are modded in. I'm pretty sure you can even get some of the German wonder weapons in mods like the Rat Tank, etc. Here we have the Crusader Mark II CS and the Mark III, the final version. Very good looking tank, great penetration value, armor not that great, but the turret armor is actually really good. Hull not so much. So if you can find a decent hull down position, this tank could cause some problems for your enemies. Now we've got the Grant tank. Well, we've seen that in the Liberation DLC. Won't spend too much time on it. Now we have the Matildas. Many of you will know the Matildas. These were for anti-tank purposes. I don't think they have much HE in these. Maybe this one with the howitzer, but the Mark III and the Mark 1, I believe these were mainly for dealing with enemy armor. Seen a lot of combat in the African campaign, I believe. It does look good. Pretty fun in a squad. Yeah, you got that one, which we did see. And now we're onto the Shermans, so I'm not going to spend that much time on Shermans. We've all seen the Shermans. There'll be a couple of interesting ones, though. So you got the IC, that's basically their Firefly. Upgraded armor. So this does have some good armor. 107 at the hull, 89, that's at the most effective parts. You have the Sherman IC Hybrid, and you've got the Tulip, which comes with a couple of rockets. These rockets are pretty cool. Actually, I wonder how did they have to like get out and light it and then it would shoot off, or could they just press like a button? I don't know. We have the Sherman DD, so I imagine there's going to be a D-Day mission. Looks cool. I don't know why, it makes me think of Steel Division 2, because you get like the D-Day tanks with that. But yes, quite cool. Early DV, Sherman late, 11A, DV, 3 early DV with up armor, early up armored, Sherman 3 late, Sherman 3 mid, Sherman 3 up armored, Sherman Crab. The chains, you can do some mine clearing, quite cool. The Sherman Crocodile, you have the early DV up armored, Sherman 5 late, Sherman 5 Tulip, so you get your rockets. I don't know how big the rocket explosion will be though, so I don't know how good 2 will be. Sherman 5 mid, Sherman 5 armor, Sherman VC. Now we're on to Valentines. And did we do Valentines? I swear we did Valentines. Oh, we did these Valentines, the funny Valentines. Now we're on to the normal Valentines. So Valentine Mark 1. It's your standard. That's the Mark 10. So they jump from 1 to 10 pretty quickly. And then you have decent pen values. A lot of these lighter or smaller tanks actually have some good guns in the Commonwealth forces. So I think light tanks are going to be a lot more viable longer in Conquest, which is cool. And they're going to cause chaos in PvP. I'm just going to say it now. Now we have the Mark 11. We have the Mark II. Oh, so we're going back now. The Mark III. Mark III CS. The Mark 9. 3 in SP Mark II. So it's like the Achilles. It might be the other one, whatever that's called. I can't remember. And last but not least, an ammo trailer. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy this content, like, sub, comment, all that good stuff. I'll catch you on the next one.